think of someone like a Nat King Cole, and every Christmas people hear the wonderful song where he says, "Chestnuts roasting on an open fire," composed by Mel Torme. Okay? Mel Torme received lots of money for that. But none of the musicians who are on that receive any money now.
I mean, the guy who played that great organ part in Runaway doesn't get something every time. You know, George Harrison doesn't get anything for a lead on a Beatles song.
My aunt is Ethel Waters, who's had many albums released. My family hasn't seen anything from that.
You perform the songs and to not get recognized, but to be used, it's very disheartening.
I played on all of Garth Brooks' records. I helped create the sound of Brooks and Dunn. I played on their first records. I've recorded with Shania Twain, George Jones.
And I went on to doing a lot of things with the Tommy Bell and the Gamble and Huff organization in Philadelphia when the Philadelphia sound was popular.
My biggest regret, is that I have not received any performance royalties as a musician.
All the product that I put out there as a session player and playing behind, I've never seen a dime.
I think I always thought that you went down and you played on hit records, and if you played on a hit record, you got royalties and you could make a living and try to build an annuity.
But it's a hurting feeling when you know your record is being played on the radio and you ain't getting paid. And how many times you may hear it.
It's only right that the musicians be fairly compensated for the work that they do on recording sessions.
And the average person doesn't realize that musicians don't get paid for airplay. Yeah, they just assume any artist who had a CD out or an album out were wealthy.
Then I realized overseas that they are paying people for their performance.
We are not in compliance with the rest of the countries around the world.
And it's kind of frustrating when, America has one set of rules, Europe has another set of rules.
Our copyright laws have been very, very antiquated for many, many years.
The world sees value in it. The United States seems to see no value in it, thinking that since we play music, that it should be free.
Without our talent, many of these records would not have made money or sold as much as they did, because the success of a recording largely depends upon the skills of the musicians that are involved in the recording process.
I think everybody who listens to the radio, whether they're streaming it on their computer, whether they're listening to their XM or Sirius, whether they listen to the local AM station, they know that those programs are driven and by the music. That's why you tune in. That's why you watch. That's why you listen.
Boy, we want to make sure that Congress understands that artists need to be paid for their stuff being played on radio on a performance level, because all that money's going through everyone's hands but ours. It's basically not right. It's damn near legalized theft.
And I just urge all members of Congress to consider that musicians are working people, studio musicians are working people. We have a wage that is mandated by our union, but we have no provisions whatsoever to achieve any compensation for the work that we've created.
Well, how come everybody gets paid but the musicians? And we do the basic functions. We supply the music.
Fair pay for airplay.
Fair pay for airplay.
And I support MusicFIRST.
I'm Big Daddy Kane, artist from Brooklyn, and I support MusicFIRST. We are the original Sugar Hill Gang, and we support Music First, baby.